What's up, YouTube? It's Big Fish here with another reaction video. Yesterday, guess what we found out? Kamala's not running for governor of California. I wonder why. Maybe because you don't have a plan? Maybe because Gavin Newsom has ran that state into the ground? Or maybe because Karen Bass is ass. I don't know. But Kamala, we already know what you gonna get handed. Trash. Thank God she's not running. Let's go ahead and hear CNN. You know, they're not biased.
We learned this afternoon that former Vice President Kamala Harris has a bombshell announcement. She will not run for California governor.
Woo!
Less than a year after she lost the 2024 election to Donald Trump, Harris's decision has already led to the inevitable speculation that this means that she will run again for president in 2028.
Is anybody gonna vote for her in the primary? We already know what Tulsi Gabbard did to her when they ran up against each other. She smacked her in the mouth. And then she just got put in there because she was a DEI hire. She really thinks she's gonna beat JD Vance? You remember what she said? What The View said, are you going to change anything that Joe Biden did? I can't think of a thing I would change. Okay.
In a statement explaining her decision, Harris says this, quote, "For now, my leadership and public service will not be in elected office. I look forward to getting back out and listening to the American people, helping elect Democrats across the nation who will fight fearlessly and sharing more details in the months ahead about my own plans." All right, our panel is here in the arena. CNN political director and our Washington bureau chief, David Chalian, CNN political commentator Jonah Goldberg, Democratic strategist, former senior advisor for the Harris campaign, Adrian
smell
Elrod,
is nasty.
and
She look
CNN
kinda
political
evil.
commentator,
Ugh.
Republican strategist Brad Todd. Welcome to all of you. Thank you very much for being here. David Chalian, I spoke to one person close to Harris who insists this is just a decision about 2026. It's not a decision about 2028, and yet.
Well, and yet, as you said, speculation. Listen, I think that is true. The "for now" in her statement is doing a lot of work to fueling the speculation about 28. But Casey, I mean, just a totally different assessment politically of looking at getting into a gubernatorial race where a lot of the polling had her as a dominant force if she were to get into the race. No sure thing to victory, obviously, in 26 versus what may be an extraordinarily crowded race in 28 that is far off yet, and that I don't think she will have any ability to sort of clear in any way for herself in 28. So I do take the advisor that you talked to and others I've spoken to at their word that this is not a decision about 28. Obviously, she's doing everything she can to preserve her options, and we're going to see a lot more of her in the next 18 months than we've seen in the last 6 months. There's no doubt about that. But I don't read this as automatically she thinks she's going to jump into the 28 presidential race.
Adrian Elrod, what do you think?
Look, I think her statement speaks for itself. This is a woman who has served Californians as San Francisco DA, as Attorney General.
And we know what she did. She locked up a lot of black people for no reason over marijuana. And guess what she tried to do? She tried to give us, she said, I want to give y'all free marijuana. They asked for less child support. She said, nah, I just give y'all legalized marijuana. What do you man want? Okay, Kamala.
Obviously, is in the United States Senate and as Vice President of the United States for the entire nation. I think she wants to take a step back, really focus on, how can she help the American people?
I don't have any children, by the way.
Be a part of, pushing back against some of Trump's dangerous and divisive policies without having this transactional relationship with voters, which is exactly what she made clear in her statement.
Did she really just say Trump's dangerous policies and didn't name any dangerous policies? All he's been doing is winning. CNN.
She wants to be able to go out there and fight for people without having to go through the slog of running for office. She deserves to have a little bit of space here in this moment to, not always be running for office, not always be in elected office, but also making sure that she can be a viable force
Go back to
in
McDonald's.
the Democratic Party and a very important voice. And I'm also confident that if she had run for governor of California, she would have won that race.
She would have got her ass
kicked. Of course, has made it clear that she wants to keep her options open.
But in keeping that her options open, there's no guarantee. In fact, there's really no way. You must have to acknowledge that she would start at the top of the heap in a 2028 primary.
Well, I think she's making it clear that she's not focused on 2028 right now. She's focused on 2026. Obviously, we've got some off-year elections in Virginia and New Jersey coming up that I'm sure she will weigh in on and be a part of a big surrogate in those races too. She's focused on making sure that Democrats can get a little bit of power back at the federal level, and I think that is where her focus will be, and we'll see what.
They think Kamala is going to be able to persuade people to give Democrats more power? You got a better shot at Jasmine Crockett doing that. I'm just kidding. The only person I can see that's a female who even got a shot is AOC. And she's trashed, man. The Democrat Party's in shambles right now. They really don't have nothing. And once the mainstream media is gone and all it is us on the internet, us YouTubers, they're cooked.
Happens after the midterms.
Jonah Glover, are you surprised by this decision?
No. I think it makes a lot of sense on her terms. Democratic Party is more unpopular than it has been in something like 30 years, and I think it makes a lot of sense if she wants to run again for president.
The males are
not to
leaving.
be in the public eye for a while, because we have not experienced any big surge of Biden era nostalgia. There's still a lot of hard feelings out there, and
a lot.
Frankly, if
for all
I
4
were her,
years.
I would take a bunch of board seats and not think about running again. If not ever, then certainly not in 2028 either. But
Board seats can complicate a political future.
for sure. But like, I would just sort of cash in and
just
get out of
call Hillary
politics if I
about
were her.
that.
This is a 2028 move. The California Democratic Party is a bowl full of Fruit Loops. And to be the leader of California as a Democrat, she will have to become the Fruit Loop she really wants to be, as we
That's
saw in
interesting way to think about
2019.
it.
And so if
does she
she
mean by
wants to
that?
run in 2028, she's got to get further from her Fruit Loop past. And she can't do that if she's got
I have a slight disagreement with that. But I agree with you about California being a bowl of Fruit Loops. But who can deny that? But like as Rahm Emanuel, you need the way the Democrats are going to get back into power is by calling out Fruit Loops, is by doing some sort of sister soldier stuff. Much fewer opportunities
Sister
to
Soldier.
sort of say I'm not the Democrat you think I am,
Right.
and run against the brand if she doesn't hold.
Can't do that. You're going to be going against your own party. And I see what they mean by the Fruit Loops now. It is the party of the LGBTQ+. It is the party of anti-man. If you go away from that, you're not going to get any votes. You already lost male support. You're just trying to lose a little bit of the female support. We're deporting all your illegals that you want to vote. You're just losers, Democrats. I'm sorry. It's not the party that it used to be. This is a whole different party. It used to be the party of war. It still technically is the party of war and chaos. But now it's the party of war, chaos, and LGBTQ. Come on now. Stop playing.
Another office.
Well, so the thing is, and David Chalian, and the heart of the challenge that it seemed to me, Kamala Harris was this
Does she
incredibly
got a neck
fast-rising
or
star,
not?
right? Out of California, she comes to the Senate. It's immediately clear that she's here to run for higher office, right? She's reaching out to reporters like us, right? It's very obvious.
No, she don't got a
And
neck. What the hell is her neck
She
at?
struggles in public to identify what kind of Democrat she is, right? Is she going to run on the left the way that she did in the primary when she was a candidate herself, or is she
Where
going
she
to
did not even make it to the voting, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. She drops out before that even happens after, what people thought was a strong kickoff rally. But then, and I want to play this moment that sort of crystallized, I think, for a lot of people, the struggle that she had. Obviously, she had a very compressed timeline to try to win the election. No one's taking that away from her. But she was asked why she would be different from the president that she had been serving when she did this appearance on The View. And here's how she answered that question. Watch.
Here we go.
There
we
is
go.
not a thing that comes to mind in terms of, and I've been a part of most of the decisions that have had impact.
Listen, this is my first year. Actually, yeah, I guess 2024 when the election happened, going into 2025. This is the first time I've been actually involved in actually studying, doing my research on politics. This came out the horse's mouth. She is the horse that said this. I can't forget this stuff. I can't. Because she was about to destroy America. She was about to get used like a puppet. Obama was about to have his fourth term in office. He already served 2. He was president with Joe Biden's in there, and he's about to be president with Kamala was in there. Oh, hell no, hell no.
I mean, is she at the point where she really knows who she is?
No.
Jenna Goldberg?
I don't think so. Look, like part
No.
of the complaint about her is that
No.
she was trained up in a left-wing environment. She knew how to talk to the left, to rally progressive groups, but she had no, the term of art on the hard left is ability to do hippie punching, right? Of
I've not heard that term.
Google it.
No,
It's
I'm
a good
not.
term for it.
Okay.
So hippie,
Do it on me.
Glad I'm not alone.
Yeah.
picking fights with the crazy sort of left, she only knew how to sort of pander to it. And that is a real problem for a Democrat today who wants to sort of reclaim the center, is to say they're not owned by those groups. And if she doesn't run for governor of California, where are those opportunities going to be?
Look, I actually disagree. I think she knows exactly who she is. I think she has very strong convictions. I think she has a
Here we go. One of those women just pandering. This is what I'm talking about. This is her voter base. I'm going to go ahead and say it. A dumb broad like her. You really think Kamala knows her voter base or she doesn't pander? Did you just watch what we just went through? Lady, are you the dumbest? I'm going to stop before I say something.
record that backs up those convictions, from fighting for criminal justice reform to fighting for women and families. She knows who she is.
Once again, nothing to help Americans. She just helped a selective group. Justice reform? What justice reform is she trying to fight for? And she's fighting for women? Of course she's fighting for women. She don't give a damn about males.
Candidates certainly evolve. I don't want to go back and rehash the 2020 primary versus the 2024 election.
Huh?
But
Why not?
Positions evolve.
Because she
I
didn't get
think,
voted in.
However, to your point about kind of taking a step back and being a private citizen for a while and continuing to use her voice in a very effective way, I think that's a good thing for her to do right now. If that's what she wants to do, it's her own personal decision.
So, David, we have this just in. Gavin
And she's going to keep losing. She's a loser.
Kamala Harris has courageously served our state and country for her entire career, whether it be as a prosecutor, attorney general, senator, or vice president. She's always kept a simple pledge at the heart of every decision she's made for the people.
If you got Gavin Newsom trying to back you up, you already lost. You already lost.
That, of course, was her slogan.
This fool think he about to be
Grateful for her
president.
service and friendship, and looking forward to continuing the fight
My
in whatever
pinky
the
toe got a
future
better chance of being the
might
president.
hold for her.
They might be fighting each other. First of all, the Gavin
say.
Newsom-Kamala Harris relationship is amazing. They kind of grew up together in San Francisco public life. She was DA
look at
and
that
he was
place.
going to be mayor, and they share the same political advisors in their lives. He has said in the past, he wouldn't run if she's going to run. Clearly, if you saw him in South Carolina a couple weeks ago, that's out the window here.
Absolutely not.
But I think that will be a fascinating relationship to watch if indeed she does choose to get in this race, as he seems poised to do.
As a Republican, I hope she runs. I hope everybody else defers to her and lets her run. Dick Nixon came back after being vice president, losing a presidential race in 1960. That's the model she should
Look,
follow.
I am confident we're going to have a very robust primary in 2028, and that is exactly what our party needs.
Very robust.
She said, that's exactly what our party. This woman is crazy. I don't even have nothing to say because I pretty much already gave my monologues throughout the video. Go down to the comment section. Tell me how you felt about the video. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. We're out. Peace.